It's been so long, I shouldn't have left you without a dope vid to step to. I got rhythm as fuck, my friends. It's your boy, Big Red Robuito. Today on Let's Quiz, we're going to be doing the Monarchs of England because I think I know most of them. But because I'm full disclosure and I don't want any bias. As you may know, I'm half Irish, half Scottish. So for the duration of the English Monarch video, I will be wearing my Ireland shirt. So before we get into the quiz, I don't know if you saw the last video, the channel update. Hashtag Thursday Thunder. Yeah, that's a thing now. Every Thursday, I'm gonna find some some shitty fucking music video or metal video that I like on YouTube, and I'm gonna put it on this playlist, and I'm gonna start it. I moved it over to Twitter. I just joined sort of a version of Twitter that doesn't really censor. It's called Parler, or it's spelled Parler, but I think it's supposed to be pronounced Parlay. That link is on top of my page, and the thing, it looks like an R and a P. To be honest, the interface is exactly like Twitter. So I think it's just a bunch of conservatives that were tired of getting like shadow banned, and they're like, well, fuck you, we'll make our own Twitter with blackjack and hookers. In fact, fuck you. So the interface pretty much is the same. As you know, I'm not really political, but I just like to troll people because it's fun to rile people up. It's my thing. It's what I like to do. So I'm there. There's a bunch of other people there, obviously. So check that out if you're bored. But for the meantime, what do you know about England's monarchs? They've had many. Only most of them horribly inbred, and I think hemophilia. They're a peculiar institution. I'm particularly not a fan. I don't know if the shirt gives it away. I think monarchies are stupid. Of all governments, I think they are the dumbest. But some people are attached to them. I don't know why, but whatever. So we're going to do a little thing I like to call Let's Quiz. I don't know why I was like creepy like that. You know what you fucking clicked on. That lovely intro bumper. Now, this quiz actually does a pretty good job because it divides them up by house. Now, some of you Game of Thrones fans might be like, well, like House of Snow and House of Cards, shit. Yeah, basically. Every family had kids. That was the line. And when they died or got bred out, it continued over. Most of these people, if you're ever bored, you should look up some of these monarchs on Wikipedia because some of them died horribly, especially the earlier ones when justice was basically like, oh, this prick over here, what? He says we got to give money for fucking cleaning up the streets. Fuck him. Oh, fuck him. And then they fucking kill the king, and then then the plague happens. Not really historically accurate, but that's just a fictional representation to help you, the viewer, the dear viewer, rationalize. But fuck me and my stupid fucking conditioner, fucking hair, and the humid air that fucking makes conditioned hair and humid air. Oh, I'm a poet, Where the fucking Irish shirt? Oh, hoity Naples. I always hope that Irish people would pronounce nipples as Naples. They don't. I talked to a couple, and they're just, I was like, hey, say nipples. And, of course, that's really weird conversation to just walk up to somebody at a bar and be like, hey, you're Irish, right? Say nipples. The few people that have responded have nipples. But in here, they say napples. Oh, what a suck on your napples. All right, I'll stop. All right. House of Normandy. We got William I, William the Conqueror, which is a much better name than he had before he invaded England. He was known as William the Bastard because the Duke of Normandy, his father, was called, well, he was not any better, Robert the Devil. Coincidentally, Robert and William, my first and middle name. So now you could totally dox me. Please don't. All right, after William came William the Second. I know nothing about him. That's a lie. I think after the Norman invasion, England was just kind of like, it's some fucking island. It's cold shit. Normandy, the part of the province in north of France where they came from, was like the main part of the kingdom. So I think William the First had a son. His first son got Normandy, which is that's like getting New York. And they fucking William the Second. We'll give him fucking England, which is like Philadelphia. No offense, Philly. Actually, I'm a Mets fan. Fuck you, Philly. AIDS. All right, after William II, I want to say Henry the First. He was the first Henry ever in the world. I made that up. That's not true. And then I think Henry II. No, this is around the Crusades. Is it? Oh shit. When does King John show up? King John? I was way fucking off. I'll get to John ahead. Richard the First. Fuck. All right, let's try Henry II. Yo, the Angevins can suck it. Why are you fucking up my shit? Frogs. No, William III was that Dutch prick. We'll get to him. Who the fuck else was in the House of Normandy? Was there a King Stephen? Or was that when they were still Anglo-Saxon? Oh, Stephen. Stephen I know nothing about, but his wife supposedly was an empress because she was related to someone in the Holy Roman Empire, which I think at this time was still pretty big. I don't think it encompassed France, but it was like, Italy, Germany, Austria, Czech Republic, parts of Poland, all the Low Countries. All right, House of York. I was in York. It's a very nice place, very green, but very depressing. I could see why my ancestors, that left the famine, they didn't go to America right away. They were like, wait, maybe we fucking take a chance in England. And, they went there and they were like, this place sucks. Their accents instantly changed, and they're like, well, might as well go to America. I'm weeping because of that. That's a beautiful story. Totally didn't have anything in my eye. All right, House of York. York. Who was that? Oh, was that the Edwards? Edward First. No. All right. Longshanks from Braveheart. Supposedly not that much of a prick. The movie makes him out to be that way because Mel was going for a big Scottish nationalist vibe, but that's English of pricks anyway. Richard II? No, fuck. Henry. Maybe Henry? Henry the Second. Third. Fuck! I remember Richard of York, don't I? Who was it? Oh, fuck it. Oh, I was going... Oh, right. Okay, I'm stupid, mate. I thought it was going... follow my mouse. Normandy, York, Hanover. Because I'm dumb, it actually goes across. So I was sort of right. All right, let me catch up. Henry II, know nothing about. Richard I went in the Crusades, conquered Cyprus. John Lackland they say he was a bad king, but he's responsible for the Magna Carta, which is probably the most significant document in Western civilization. So he gets a pass. Henry III, know nothing about. Edward Longshanks, Braveheart. Then they got real unoriginal. Edward II, who was a homosexual, supposedly, and he died by having a red-hot poker shoved right up his ass. Is that a bad way to spend a Friday night? Then there was Edward III, who supposedly, if you read fucking history books, he was the greatest king in Christendom. But that's just England being England. After Edward III, who the fuck came after Edward III? Richard II, perchance? Richard II. I know nothing about him. That's it. All right, Lancaster. Henry. I think maybe we're getting back into the Henrys now. Henry the Fourth. And then he did... well, he, I think, tried to maintain control over Normandy when it was sort of like, we don't want, how come no one's paying attention to us anymore? Because, they were, there's a lot more land in England, so they could farm and they could feudalize it and all that shit. Whereas Normandy was just like this little province in north of France. And then I believe Henry V, who Shakespeare had a hard-on for, he gets a lot of credit. Supposedly he conquered France, but he didn't conquer France. He just took a bunch of their territory. France still existed. And then he tried to make things all right for his son, the uniquely named Henry VI, to be both King of England and France. However, that did not work out because Joan of Arc and all that stuff. After Henry's, I believe there were Richards. Richard of York. I know Richard of York. So Richard II, third? Richard III. Henry VII. That's the Tudors. We'll get into them. Another Edward, maybe. There were a lot of Edwards. Edward I, second, third, fourth. Edward V. There we go. The Lancasters and the Yorks, that was basically where a lot of Game of Thrones comes from. That was the War of the Roses, because the House of York was a white rose, House of Lancaster was a red rose, and they would fight, but they wouldn't use swords. Interesting enough, they used roses, and they were like, "Yeah, get in your face, you son of a bitch, York bastard!" And they would use the little thorns, like cut them, and they're like, "Oh!" And they didn't have antibiotics, so everyone died. True story. Okay, the Tudors. After the Battle of... Not Hastings. Oh, fuck. I used to know it. Something Marsh. Something Green. Whatever. After some battle, the Tudor king, who... supposedly he was like a Welsh offshoot. Another bastard. But it was like, fuck Richard III, I want to be king. And everyone's like, yeah. So Henry VII shows up and wins the Battle of... Fuck! Oh, this is going to kill me. I used to know it. I used to be smart. Anyway, he sucks. And then his son, Henry VIII, who ruined England religiously because he couldn't fucking knock up his wife, because he's probably a little bitch, and he's in hell right now because he's a piece of shit. After him, his son, Edward VI, who didn't last long because, well, he was a little bitch. He was the first truly Protestant king, and of course that didn't last long. And then, are they going to have Jane Grey? Lady Jane Grey. She was a cousin who was Protestant. It was around this time they're like, we can't have fucking any fucking Catholics. Whoa! But I don't know why. So no Jane Grey. And then Mary I, Bloody Mary, who returned England to Catholicism. And then she died. And then Elizabeth I, who was like, no, we're going to be Protestant. Oh! But then we get to the Scots. My people. They finally came and took power. James I, and then Charles I, who lost his head. And then there was James II. And then there was Charles II, the Merry Monarch. Oh, wait, no. Yeah, the Merry Monarch. Charles II was the Merry Monarch. And then there was William and Mary. This is about the time the throne of England slips away from British people to continental Europe, because William was Dutch. And as I've said before, the Dutch are retarded Germans. And then there was Anne, and she was basically the last British monarch, because they went to the House of Hanover, which was some distant offshoot. These people are all Germans. So I believe it was really unoriginal. George I, George II, George III, George... Oh, was there... I think... When was the regency? William the Third? William the Fourth. Oh, all right. George... Oh, George III, I believe, was... Yeah, he lost the colonies, so he was a dick. But he was supposedly mad, and he could piss blue. And Hanover... Who the fuck else? When was Victoria? Oh, Victoria. And then Saxe-Coburg-Gotha, which is basically Victoria's house. That was her son, Edward the... Oh, well, I ran out of time. As you can see there, Edward the 5th, 6th, 7th. And then, I believe... and then oh, okay. The royal family there now is essentially the House Saxe-Coburg-Gotha from the part of Germany the family is from. However, World War One happened, and no one likes the Germans anymore because of the whole World War One thing. Now, England, a very forward-thinking nation, always one step ahead, has German monarchs. So what do? Hey, what's the most famous castle we have? Windsor's alright, I suppose. Hey, I got an idea. So they changed their fucking dynasty's name to the House of Windsor. They have no connection to the fucking place other than they own it. And then they just kept it. And then, World War II happened, so, we're not German, we're British. No, you're fucking not. Elizabeth II, you kraut. All right, I get a little heated. But, yeah, that's it. That's the Monarchs of England. As you know, I once again bloviated a bit too much. So we couldn't finish it, but you can see what's there. And I encourage you, again, if you're bored, go on Wikipedia, because especially the early kings, a lot of them did not end well. And it's kind of entertaining if you're ever bored or having a bad day. It's like, well, at least my day's going better than Edward II's. Right up there. Wow, what a way to go. Woo. You think they just stuck it up there and left it, or they stuck it up there and woo? So subscribe, share, make sure you're hey, check out this redhead. He's fucking really dumb and stupid, but god damn is he good looking. I can't take my eyes off him. I love you too. I have a new thing coming up. I ordered some lighting, so I'm going to try to do a thing without this webcam, with a professional camera. I have everything set up, ready to go for a let's try. I ordered that, that Stranger Things, the third season's coming out. I don't really watch it, but they brought back New Coke. Remember in the 80s, they changed the recipe from Coca-Cola Classic to New Coke. So I have a can of New Coke I'm going to try on the channel live. It's down in my fridge. I haven't tried it yet. And I'm going to, I'll give you a little background information on that bullshit, because if I just open it up on the video, it's going to be 10 seconds. This tastes funny. Credits. So expect that within, it's Friday now. Is it Friday? I'm asking you. Yes, it's Friday. I'm looking at my calendar. So expect that by the weekend, or definitely before Monday. This weekend, you will have my take on New Coke. And that's it. So take care of yourselves and each other.